Okay, so reading The Science of Psychic Healing by Yogi Ramacharaka, Chapter 8, Chronic Breathing. Chronic breathing plays a very important part in chronic healing. It is the means or method whereby the supply of prana is increased and whereby it may be distributed to the affected parts. Chronic breathing is based upon the unceasing vibration, which is always in evidence throughout all nature. Everything is in constant vibration. There is no rest in the universe. From planet to atom, everything is in motion and vibration. If even a tiny atom would cease to vibrate, the balance of nature would be disturbed. In and through incessant vibration, the work of the universe is performed. Force or energy is constantly playing upon matter and producing the phenomena of life. The atoms of the human body are in a state of constant vibration. Vibration and motion is everywhere in evidence in the human economy. The cells of the body are constantly to be destroyed, replaced, and changed. Change everywhere and always. Rhythm pervades the universe. Everything from the greatest sun to the tiniest atom is in vibration and has its own particular rate of vibration. The circling of the planets around the sun, the rise and fall of the sea, the breathing of the heart, the ebb and flow of the tide, all follow rhythmic laws. All growth and change is an evidence of this law. Our bodies are subject to this law as well as are all other forms of matter. And upon an understanding of this law of rhythm depends largely the yogi theory of breath and pranic healing. By falling in rhythm of atoms of which the body is composed, the yogi manages to absorb a great amount of prana, which he disposes of to bring about the results desired by him. The body which you occupy is like a small inlet running into the land from the sea. Although apparently subject only to its own laws, it is really subject to the ebb and flow of the tides of the ocean. The great sea of life is swelling and receding, rising and falling, and we are responding to its vibration and rhythm. In a normal condition, we receive the vibration and rhythm of the great ocean of life and respond to it, but at times the mouth of the inlet seems choked up with the breeze, and we fail to receive the impulse from Mother Ocean and in harmony manifest within us. You have heard how a note on a violin, if sounded repeatedly and in rhythm, will start into motion vibration, which will in time destroy a bridge. The same result is true when a regiment of soldiers crosses a bridge, the order always being given to break step on such occasion, lest the vibration bring down both bridge and regiment. These manifestations are of the effect of rhythmic motion will give you an idea of the effect of the body of rhythmic breathing. The whole system catches the vibration and becomes in harmony with the will, which causes the rhythmic motion of the lungs. And while in such complete harmony, will respond readily to orders from the will. With the body thus attuned, the yogi finds no difficulty in increasing the circulation in any part of the body by an order from the will. And in the same way, he can direct an increased current of nerve force to any part or organ, strengthening and stimulating it. In the same way, the yogi, by rhythmic breathing, catches the swing, as it were, and is able to absorb and control a greatly increased amount of prana, which is then at the disposal of his will. He can and does use it as a vehicle for sending forth prana to others. Rhythmic breathing will increase the value of mental healing, magnetic healing, etc., several 100%. In rhythmic breathing, the main thing to be acquired is the mental idea or rhythm. To those who know anything of music, the idea of measured counting is familiar. To others, the rhythmic step of the soldier, left, right, left, right, left, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 will convey the idea. The yogi bases his rhythmic time upon a unit corresponding with the beat of his heart. The heartbeat varies in different persons, but the heartbeat unit of each person is the proper rhythmic standard for that particular individual in his rhythmic breathing. Ascertain your normal heartbeat by placing your fingers over your pulse and then count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, until the rhythm becomes firmly fixed in your mind. A little practice will fix the rhythm so that you will be able to easily reproduce it. The beginner usually inhales in about 6 pulse units, but he will be able to greatly increase this by practice. The Yogi rule for rhythmic breathing is that the units of inhalation and exhalation should be the same, while the units for retention between breaths should be 1/2 the number of those inhalation and exhalation. The following exercises in rhythmic breathing should be thoroughly mastered as it forms, just like Michelin. Morning, Michelin.
It's Amanda. Good morning.
Oh, morning, Amanda. I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't look like. The following exercises in rhythmic breathing should be thoroughly mastered as it forms the basis of numerous other exercises to which reference will be made later. Rhythmic breathing. 1, sit or stand in an easy posture, being sure to hold the chest, neck, and head as nearly in a straight line as possible, with shoulders slightly thrown back and hands resting easily on the lap. In this position, the weight of the hand is largely supported by the ribs, and the position may be easily maintained. The yogi has found that one cannot get the best effect of rhythmic breathing with the chest drawn in and the abdomen protruding. 2, inhale slowly a deep breath, counting 6 pulse units. 3, retain, counting 3 pulse units. Exhale slowly through the nostrils, counting 6 pulse units. 5, count 3 pulse beats between breaths. Repeat a number of times, but avoid fatiguing yourself at the start. When you are ready to close the exercise, practice the cleansing breath, which will rest you and cleanse the lungs. After a little practice, you will be able to increase the duration of the inhalations and exhalations until about 15 pulse units are consumed. In this increase, remember that the units for retention and between breaths is 1/2 the units for inhalation and exhalation. Do not overdo yourself in your effort to increase the duration of the breath, but pay as much attention as possible to acquiring the rhythm, as that is more important than the length of the breath. Practice and try until you get the measured swing of the movement and until you can almost feel the rhythm of the vibratory motion throughout the whole body. It will require a little practice and perseverance, but your pleasure at your improvement will make the task an easy one. The yogis are most patient and persevering men, and their great attainments are due largely to the possession of these qualities. The following will give you a general idea of the use of the breath in pranic healing. General directions. The main principle to remember is that by rhythmic breathing and controlled thought, you are enabled to absorb a considerable amount of prana and are also able to pass it into the body of another person, stimulating weakened parts and organs and imparting health and driving out disease conditions. You must first learn to form such a clear mental image of the desired condition that you will be able to actually feel the influx of prana and the force running down your arms and out of your fingertips into the body of the patient. Breathe rhythmically a few times until the rhythm is fairly established. Then place your hands upon the affected part of the body of the patient, letting them rest lightly over the part. Then breathe rhythmically, holding the mental image that you are fairly pumping prana into the diseased organ or part, stimulating it and driving out the diseased conditions, just as one may pump clear water into a pail of dirty water, and thus drive out the latter in time. This plan is very effective if the mental image of the pumping operation is clearly held, the inhalation representing the lifting of the pump handle and the exhalation, the actual pumping. In this way, the patient is filled full of prana and the disease condition is driven out. Every once in a while, raise the hands and flick the fingers as if you were throwing off the disease condition. It is well to do this occasionally and also wash the hands after treatment, as otherwise you may take on a trace of the diseased condition of the patient. During the treatment, let the prana pour into the patient in one continuous stream, allowing yourself to be merely the pumping machinery connecting the patient with the universal supply of prana and allowing it to flow freely through you. You need not work the hands vigorously, but simply enough that the prana freely reaches the affected parts. The rhythmic breathing must be practiced frequently during the treatment so as to keep the rhythm normal and to afford the prana a free passage. It is better to place the hands on the bare skin, but where this is not advisable or possible, place them over clothing. Vary above method occasionally during the treatment by stroking the body gently and softly with the fingertips, the fingers being kept slightly separated. This is very soothing to the patient. In cases of long standing, you may find it helpful to give the mental commands in words such as get out, or be strong, as the case may be, the words helping you to exercise the will more forcibly and to the point. Vary these instructions to suit the needs of the case and use your own judgment and inventive faculty. We have given you the general principles and you can apply them in hundreds of different ways. The above apparently simple instruction, if carefully studied and applied, will enable one to accomplish all that the leading magnetic healers are able to, although their systems are more or less cumbersome and complicated. They are using prana ignorantly and calling it magnetism. If they would combine rhythmic breathing with their magnetic treatment, they would double their efficiency. Chapter 9, Pranic Treatments. It is well to begin treatments by preparing the hands as follows. Preparing the hands. Rub the hands together briskly for a few minutes and then swing them to and fro a little until they have that undeniable feeling of aliveness and being full of energy. Clenching the hands together and then opening them rapidly, repeating several times, will stimulate them wonderfully. Try it now and see how the force seems to go to them. Some practitioners of pranic healing devote much of the time to what is known as the general treatment, while others give the general treatment only occasionally and devote more time to the special treatment of the affected parts. But at any rate, there is nothing better than a general treatment given frequently, for it equalizes the circulation of the entire body and stimulates every muscle and nerve and part and causes the whole body to function with renewed energy and life and aids materially in reestablishing normal conditions and functioning. General treatment. Place the patient on his face, placing a pillow under his breast so that his chin may rest easily upon it. Let him place his arms in a comfortable position, hanging by the sides preferably. Then place your first and second finger on each side of his spinal column or backbone so that the spine rests between the two fingers. Then bring the fingers down the spine slowly and firmly. If you find any tender joints, you will know that some of the nerves emerging from the spinal column are congested and that some organ or part is suffering by reason thereof. If you notice a point much colder or warmer than the neighboring points, you will know that there is some muscular contraction in the spinal region, which is affecting the circulation of the nerve centers, thereby causing pain and abnormal action in some part of the body reached by the nerve. Remember these points so that you may treat them especially by careful manipulation and stimulating vibration. Then turn the patient over on his back and pass the hands over the entire body in turn, noting all the contraction, tender spots, swellings, etc. Begin the actual general treatment by giving him a thorough spinal treatment as follows. Manipulate gently and carefully the entire length of the spinal column or backbone, beginning at the neck and working downward gradually, paying particular attention to the tender spots or the points evidencing cold or heat as before stated. First, work down one side of the spine and then the other, manipulating carefully at each point. Then give him a vibration treatment along the spine, finishing with a gentle stroking, which will be found very soothing. Then give him a neck treatment as follows. Begin by a thorough kneading of the muscles of the back part of the neck and a gentle manipulation of the throat. This treatment tends to render free and equal the circulation to and from the brain. Then manipulate the shoulders and arms in succession, finishing by stroking the arm from the shoulder down to the fingertips. Then manipulate the chest and back and sides in succession, finishing always with a stroking. Apply vibrations whenever the same seems advisable and comfortable to the patient. Apply percussion to the solid parts of the body when you deem it advisable. Then give the legs the same treatment that you have given the arms, finishing always with stroking. Then give the special regions, that is, the regions affected by pain and disease, the various treatments that seem advisable, following the instructions given in the preceding chapter. A good place is to place the right hand over the pit of the stomach or solar plexus and the left hand under the middle of the back, and allow the current of prana or vital force to flow through the body for a few minutes. In giving treatments in cases where pain is felt by the patient, heat your hands by briskly rubbing them together until they are well heated, and then place the right hand on the seat of the pain and the left hand on the opposite side of the body or part, and mentally will that the current shall drive out the pain. Always conclude the special or general treatment with stroking, which leaves the patient soothed and equalizes the circulation. You will be surprised at the wonderful effect of the stroking. In the manipulation during the general treatment, pause occasionally and allow the hands to rest upon the body, the right hand on the front of the body and the left hand on the back. This allows the current to flow freely through, reaching the parts. Constipation. This trouble is treated by general treatment and special manipulations over the region of the liver and abdomen. Vibration over the liver and bowels is also very efficacious in this case. Do not neglect the form of treatment whereby the current is passed through the parts, as stated above. Finish by stroking. Be sure to advise the patient to drink more water, as constipation is also caused by lack of sufficient fluids. Read the chapter on that subject in Hatha Yoga. Dyspepsia. This trouble is treated by general treatment coupled with special treatment similar to that given in the case of constipation, paying particular attention to the passing of the current through the digestive organs. Diarrhea. This trouble may be relieved and sometimes almost instantaneously cured by pranic treatment. In treatment for this trouble, be very gentle and avoid manipulations, confining the motions to stroking, passing the current through the parts, etc., coupled with the following special treatment for diarrhea. This special treatment consists in an equalizing of the nerve force, in which is known as the splanchnic nerve, which nerve seems to have the faculty of occasionally running away like a frightened horse. This special treatment brings the pressure to bear on this nerve and seems to be brought to its senses, especially if the mind of the healer is directed to the spot. With a firm command, slow down. The following is the best way to apply this treatment. Let the patient lie on his back, then place one hand under each side, placing your fingers on each side of his spine, just below his last ribs. Then lift him up several inches, allowing his weight to rest on your fingers. His shoulders and seat resting on the bed, his back thus forming an arch. Do not be in a hurry and move slowly. Let him relax all his muscles during the treatment. Let him rest for, say, 15 minutes, and then if the trouble has not disappeared, give him another treatment. Finish the treatment with stroking. You will be surprised at the quickness with which the trouble often disappears during this treatment. You must keep your mind on the subject during the treatment, sending out strong thoughts of slow down. I'm going to pause here. All right, I'm going to move us into breath and meditation, but if anyone needs to unmute themselves, you can.
Well, not too much to say about diarrhea, but that's definitely an interesting thing to know.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I just wanted to drink some of my tea. Okay. Oh, so let me just see something. All right, so setting up your breath work shape in a comfortable seat, whether you're popped up or against the wall or in a chair, laying down, standing. Trying to create that strong spine. Checking in with the body, and maybe you have to shake out the neck and lift the shoulders up a few times. Maybe you do have to flick the fingers, wake up those hands, just get the energy flowing. Maybe they interlace and reach overhead and stretch side to side. Or maybe you're just ready for stillness. Relaxing features on the face. Breathing in and out through the nose. Creating that rhythmic breath that we keep reading about. Using the count that works for you. So you can inhale for whatever count. We'll use 6. And then you'll hold for 3. And slowly release for 6. And hold for 3. Inhale for 6. Hold for 3. Exhale slow for 6. Whatever numbers you're working with, you can keep going like this. And as you inhale, just make sure you're really breathing long into the low belly. Try not to stop in the upper chest. Another round or so. And if you want to stay here, you can stay here. If you want to move on to your alternate nostril breath, you'll take your right hand over to the nose, close the right nostril with the thumb, and inhale through the left. Close left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Inhale left. Close left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Inhale left. Close left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. A few more rounds on your own breath. Relax out the left side when you're done and settle into your meditation. I'm going to set the timer. You join us when you're ready. Bringing hands in front of your heart. Namaste. Have a beautiful day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Pam.